We've been waiting a millennia for the Steam Deck to arrive, and now it has. Now that you've got your shiny new Linux-based device, you're going to need to know how to set it up. These are the first steps that I recommend taking to get your Steam Deck up to where you want to make it. The first thing you're going to want to do is log into your Steam account, because that's the whole point of this device. Then go right to updates. Don't worry about playing anything just yet. You want to get your updates out of the way first, because the Steam Deck has tons of those, and they're always updating and fixing little bugs and adding more games to the verified list. So that's what I'd recommend doing first off. Okay, the next thing you want to do after you get logged in is you're going to want to familiarize yourself with the new buttons, the layout of the device, and how the Steam OS overlay on Linux works.
So to start, let's do a quick button tour. We have your regular culprits, your D-pad, thumbsticks, A, B, X, Y buttons, along with the speakers, mics, and touchscreen. The interesting buttons are the view, the menu, quick access, the Steam button, and the two trackpads. Then on the top, we have the regular trigger buttons, along with volume buttons up and down, headphone jack, fan, Type-C port, status LED, and a power button. This leaves us with the buttons on the back, which are R4, R5, L4, and L5. So let's start with the interesting buttons, the Steam button, which contains home, library, store, friends and chat, media, downloads, settings, and power. Realistically, the only things that you're gonna fuss with a total ton right in the beginning are the settings and powers, but after you get everything dialed in on this, you'll mainly use the home and library buttons over on this side. But this is just the main Steam button overlay, while the power button also has your switch to desktop mode in it. So when you click on power, you can actually switch it to the desktop mode, which, if you've never done before, will look like this cluttered mess. This is where you can use your Linux desktop system just as a regular laptop and install whatever else you want to. But we'll return back to gaming now, and the button on the other side is the quick access button. The quick access button houses everything from notifications down to settings and battery controls, which is what you're going to be using most of the time very quickly, between your brightness and your audio, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth connected items, microphones. These are the things that you're going to need to change frequently, which is why they're keyed right to this button on the right of the Steam Deck. I very much like the battery settings on this device, and this is all housed within there, along with a help button at the end. These buttons are the ones that I would familiarize myself with first, because you'll be able to quickly take advantage of all the deck's different settings once you know how to quickly access them. On to the next section.
Now that you're familiar with all of the different features of the device and how its kind of little quirky bits work, you're going to want to figure out what type of Steam Deck you're going to want to put together for yourself. Are you going to be someone who emulates everything and it's a catch-all for all your old devices? Or are you going to try and run all the new platforming games and just run everything from your Steam account? There's a lot to do with this new device, and deciding what type of Steam Deck you want to have might be something you want to think about before you start just hitting download. There are so many different games in the Steam library that giving a thought to what types of games you think would run good on the Steam Deck, or looking at the verified section and plays well on Steam Deck section of Steam will actually help you out here, because they have a ton of games that are already set up to play well on this. The battery life, though, is a question that is tougher to answer in this video. If you'd like to learn more about it, I have a video linked down below, because AAA titles and little side-scrolling platformer games are definitely going to draw different wattages, and you're going to want to know how long your battery's going to last. Because this is one of the ideas you're going to have to think about while you're downloading all your games for your new Steam Deck and making it into the machine you want it to be. The next thing that you want to do as a new Steam Deck owner is you want to accessorize. And what I mean by that is you're going to want to get a few different items for your Steam Deck to enhance your experience. Or if you don't want to, you don't have to. But I do recommend a few different ones to upgrade your experience. For instance, there's no good way to set this thing down and actually just view it. It doesn't have a kickstand like the Switch does, nor does it have a docking station. So the first thing I recommend is, I also have another video of making a stand for the Steam Deck out of the box it comes in, which is a cool little project you can do while all of your games are downloading. Then you can put it right there and watch it roll through.
But I also recommend some other things that I don't have on hand, like an SD card. The Steam Deck uses UHS Class 1, which tops out at around 100 megabytes second read and then 90 megabytes write speeds. Anything above that is good. So I recommend using some cheap Samsungs that come off of Amazon. Other things like carrying cases. I like the included one, but they sell other ones. You know, those grip type cases that may have like a stand or something else in it. D-Brand makes the kill switch, possibly a dock or a USB Type-C dongle to attach the Steam Deck to something else. Maybe a DIY dock or some Bluetooth accessories like a keyboard and mouse, maybe earphones. All of these are definitely recommended.
And the fifth thing you should do as a brand new deck owner is don't rush out right away and buy a bunch of stuff that you might not actually use on this device because you're not familiar with it yet. You've just gotten it and you're not totally sure how it works and what it might actually need or what your needs might actually be. Maybe you're constantly on the go and need extra battery. You might want to go buy some extra battery banks to power it while you're on the go, versus maybe you have a really big library. You just want to keep everything on the deck. Maybe you want a bunch of little SD cards. The fifth recommendation really should be about you. What you want to do with your Steam Deck and giving yourself some time to play through it for a month and figure out what games you like best on this device, because it's kind of like a Nintendo Switch, but with the vastness of Steam's library dropped onto the device. So it's good to take some time and figure out how you're going to be playing it on a regular basis. And after you've played it for a while, you can decide on extra accessories or more games. We can never have too many games. Them damn Steam summer sales. Now, I know it's fun to talk about all of these things, but don't really overcomplicate this. If you don't know what to do right off the bat, I definitely recommend playing with it and kind of learning how she drives. Once you have that, maybe go ahead, save the box, make a stand for it. Or if you're having some weird issues with the battery, here's another video that might clarify everything. That's really all I have for you today. One of these next videos will help you out further your Steam Deck journey. Go check them out.